Hey everyone. So I am I am coming back. Like, it's dark. I'm about to go to sleep, but a situation happened, and it's something that typically happens to me, but I have now gained the emotional awareness to protect my adult self and my inner child, and I just remove myself from the environments where I'm not celebrated or I'm not being held in like all that I am. I think that's the right way to phrase it. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten the intro. So I am Lauren, for those of you who don't know, and I am a sound healing doula, and I am the CEO of Washea. Now, this little chat is something that I experience multiple times a day in different ways, but I remember having to navigate this a lot as a child, and because I was almost like shoved into specific environments that probably were not the best for me, I just had to kind of deal with people not giving me all the space that I needed to communicate my ideas or express myself freely. And when I also feel like I don't want to communicate, I want to know that that's okay, and I want to allow people to understand where I'm coming from so that I feel safe and I feel secure with who I'm sharing, whatever I'm sharing in terms of a message, and like whenever I'm sharing it. So at the moment, as I'm recording this, it's dark. This is where my mind is getting all of these downloads about things that have happened in my day. So, like this particular chat, I'm doing it right now. It's very spontaneous, but I love it, and I feel like this is another reason as to why I wanted to create this safe space, because I haven't really found a space where there are others who are able to hold the expansive amount of space that I need. So I've decided that I'm going to create that for myself and also for others, because there are some times where I want to share stuff, but my brain just doesn't want to do it. So I have to wait, and although I know what I want to say, I sometimes struggle to find the words to express that, and it really does kind of weigh on me quite heavily. So the main thing I was kind of wanting to share with you all is how when I do start sharing things, I get really excited, I get really passionate about it, because I'm like, oh, this thing, like, here's where I want to start, And then I'm like, oh, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing. And there are so many things that I want to like share with someone, because they're like, oh, tell me about your day. And I will literally do that. And yeah, there's a lot of information, but like what I seem to get confronted with when it's something where like I've had a really good day, or there's something I'm extremely proud of, I will keep talking just because I want to get it out and I'm so excited. And with that, I feel like I want to make the most of me feeling excited and passionate about something, because of the contrast of me feeling numb every so often. I definitely want to allow myself to be able to talk freely and express myself however I choose to do, whenever I choose to, in the way that feels most authentic to me. But the thing that I keep coming across with certain people is I get cut off halfway through. Now, I've had relationships where I've been invited to talk, and then someone will interrupt me, or I will get interrupted, and like because I was the person who was initiated to talk or invited to talk first, I feel like because I've studied linguistics, I kind of know what the natural flow of language is like. And then what happens is sometimes, or like, I don't know if I'm hyper aware of this, but I'm very aware of how some people, like, they can hear that I'm talking, but they just continue to talk and have their own like side conversation as if I'm not there. So yeah, that is something I'm struggling to come to terms with, because whenever that happens with me, I tend to go into hermit mode, and then I'm just like, do you know what? I am not going to share what's on my mind, or I'm not going to share this really cool fact that I found about this thing, or I watched this really cool video, and because I love somebody so much, I'm going to share it with them. But if the same, like, I'm not expecting the same enthusiasm to be met with like whatever it is that I'm sharing, but the fact that like someone's allowing enough space for me to like finish my thought, yeah, I feel like that is so needed in like whatever space it is. Like, it shouldn't just be like, oh, it's needed in the coaching space, it's needed in the workplace. I feel like it should just be a universal thing that people just are more considerate of like what's going on around them. And I know that a lot of people are kind of absorbed in their own little worlds. Like, I am always absorbed in my own little world, and although I am like, I'm obviously sharing this because I deep down I know that the ears that are going to hear this particular episode, or this particular chat, I said I wasn't going to call it an episode, yeah, the ears that are hearing this specific chat are those who also want to feel like what they're sharing is valuable, and like whenever they do share something with somebody, it's met with love, because I know that with families or friendship groups that kind of break down, things can be met with love one moment and then all of a sudden it's not met with love, and it can be very difficult to navigate such a complex thing. And to some people, like just asking like, oh, have you finished talking, or like, okay, so what, like what's the upshot, or like, okay, and like, before I've been able to fully express my thought, there are ways in which I know that I could probably deal with that better, and I am working on that. But equally, I feel like as a whole, like if people were open to just holding a little bit more space for people and understanding that maybe other people's brains, or just other people in general, not even connecting this to like brain activity, other people work at different paces, so it's going to help everyone kind of understand where everyone's coming from if we all slow down a little bit, just adjust to our surroundings as best as we can, rather than expecting one side of the conversation, or like one party of like whoever or whatever's going on to like do all the adjusting, because that's exhausting. And I'm tired of saying I'm tired. I'm really tired of saying it, but recently I've just noticed that I appear to be saying I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm weary, I need to sleep more. And it's not necessarily because I'm physically tired. Like, yeah, there's health things going on that I'm addressing, but like from a point of view to where I'm having to focus more on how to make other people more comfortable with my existence. Like, I feel like I'm having to become more and more less like myself. Like, I'm having to mold myself to fit a world that doesn't cater to me. And I know I'm not the only person who feels like this. And it does hurt me, because I feel very strongly about this. And because there are people who are not willing to allow me to express my thoughts as they flow, like around me physically at the moment, like I'm in the wrong place, or I'm not in the right places all of the time. That's the exhausting part of it. Like, I'm having to squeeze myself into spaces that I don't fit in. And that is also where I feel like a lot of my sadness is coming from, because I'm open to welcoming in very specific people into my world, and I would just love it if I could just be surrounded by some awesome, artsy, creative, expressive individuals who allow me to be me as I am, and while I allow them to be them. And this world that I'm sort of imagining, I know I can make it happen, right? But I just feel like it's so far away from where I am at the moment. And I feel like me saying I'm tired, I'm exhausted, means that I get to do the closest thing to actually being in that space. So I get to sleep, or I get to do an extended meditation, or like a deep rest yoga session. And because of how that makes me feel I'm resting, that is what I need in order to thrive. But the environments that I'm in, the places that I'm spending most of my time, and the people that I'm around are like, they're not like me. So I feel very, very uncomfortable when all of these things don't happen. So I am going to leave you with that little nugget of inspiration, something to think about, and I will catch you in the next one. And if you feel called to add to this discussion, this chat, feel free to message me, follow me on all of my socials. I will link them down below. But for today, I hope that you are being gentle with yourself, and that you can do something to hopefully make you smile, even if it is just a little bit. So yeah, I will see you guys very soon.